this lesson, you will learn how to find child elements. And if you're not sure what is child elements, please check the very first lesson of this section about HTML terminology. I explained the concept, what's the parent element and what is the child element. So Playwright has several techniques how to locate the child elements, and I will show you those in this lesson. So let's get into it. So let me create a new test. Test locating child elements. So let's go back to our test application, and this is forms layout and using the grid. So let's say we want to find the locator for this option 1 checkbox. I click inspect and look into the inspect console. So we have a few NB radio buttons, right? So this is not a unique element, and each of the four located inside of NB card. So if I collapse this, so we can find that this is NB card, this is NB card, and also if I scroll down, so this is NB card and this is NB card. So what we can do, we can find the NB card, then inside of the NB card we can find the NB radio buttons, and then we want to find the radio button that only has text option 1. So NB radio tag is a child element in relation to NB card. And this is what I want to show you how to find the child elements. So going back to the code, and I'm typing await page.locator. So first I want to find NB card. Then in order to find the child element within the same method locator, you just put space and put NB radio, and then inside of the NB radio we want to find a text. Text is option space 1, and we want to perform a click. So let's see how does it work. I ran the test and we successfully were able to make a click on option 1. Alternatively, how you can find the child elements is also chaining the locators one by one. So for example, await page.locator NB card, then dot locator NB radio, and then dot locator. And let's say we will use option 2, just for example, to click on the second radio button and then perform the click. So let me run this. Yeah, and option 2 was selected. The example number 1 and example number 2 are doing exactly the same thing. The difference is that this kind of the syntax is like more compact. So the rule is simple. When you use a locator element and want to find a child element, just separate your locators, each of your locator by space within the string of your locator. And Playwright will search the child elements, digging down into the DOM deeper and deeper until it will find the desired locator. So let's move on. Another example, let's say we want to find a sign-in button. We already did this before. So where's our application? Here we go. So this is sign-in button, and we have two sign-in buttons, button number 1 and button number 2. So what you also can do in Playwright is to make a combination of the regular locator method and user-facing locator. So we can find page locator NB card, and then within NB card we want to find a button get by role. We choose button with name sign in. And since we have two buttons like that on the page, we click first and then we say click. And I run it. Yeah. And it worked. We can see that sign in is selected. So you maybe wonder here why we even didn't need to use NB card over here, right? Because here we were able to select this sign in button just directly without using NB card. Yes, NB card in this particular example is not really needed because it does not make a difference, but it's just for your reference that if you need to find different elements, nested elements as your child elements, you can mix the usage of the regular locator method and user-facing locator. You can put the different order as well. For example, you can find the more parent locator using getByRole, and then within this locator, using the locator method, find the child element that way. And the very last example of working with the child element, and I would say the least preferable approach, page.locator, we will use our NB card again, is using index of the element, nth, and we provide the index. As we know, we have a bunch of NB cards on the page, and by providing the index of which particular NB card we want to use, for example, index number 3, it means it will be the 4th element from the top of the DOM. Index always start with 0, so 0, 1, 2, 3, it means the 4th element. Playwright will find all NB cards, then it will find 4th card from the top of the list, and then we can do whatever we want within this card. For example, getByRole, and we can click on the button, and we don't need to even provide the name for this button because there is just a single button within that NB card. And if I perform click, I even don't know which exactly card this index is. So let's see what Playwright gonna select for us. Okay, it selected the basic form submit button. So probably this one was first, this one second, this third, and probably basic form is the 4th card on this page, and that's why it's click submit. But as I mentioned, this approach, selecting by index, try to avoid this approach because sometimes the order of the web elements can be changed on the web page, and this may result into the wrong element will be selected. The same thing using method first or using method last. Always try to find more unique elements without using index or the order of the web elements. And how to find more unique elements using apparent locators, I will show you in the next lesson. So let's quickly summarize what we learned in this lesson. In order to find a child element using a locator method, you can simply provide all your locators such as tags, attributes, IDs, and so on inside of the locator string and separate them by the space. Each locator separated by space is considered a child locator in the relation to the locator is in the string before that. You can also chain your commands one by one. Locator find this, locator find this, locator find this, but this approach is not really compact, so if you need to chain few locators using locator method, try to just separate them by space. It looks just nicer. Also, you can use combination of the user-facing locator and regular locator method and chain those methods one by one as well. If nothing works, you can always find your elements by index, get the index of the element, and then interact with this element. Try to avoid this approach as much as possible, and index always start with 0. So in this example, it will be a 4th element selected on the page from the top. Alright, that's it guys, and see you in the next lesson.